All right, we're doing it. Episode 513, No Laugh Track Podcast here in Minneapolis, Minnesota at Acme Comedy Company, the best place on earth. Justin Severson is here, the host. I am here with Tim Slagle, who has been here many times. We've lost count. The internet can barely keep the amount of files we have of the two of us talking to each other.
Okay, I can do a rough estimate. So if this is episode 513, that means you've been doing it almost 10 years.
Well, it's actually over because we had to miss some for COVID.
Oh.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So that means this is probably at least number 20 with me.
I'm thinking it's 19 or 20. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I didn't do an exact count.
20 or more podcasts or more episodes than a lot of podcasts last these days.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, yeah.
A little pat on the back for both of us, huh?
Yeah.
For sticking around. I mean, somebody out there's probably trying to get rid of us, but we're still here, and that's what's important. So here we are. This is not the Crash and Burn week. That's the last time we talked. This is the Tim Slagle headlining week at Acme.
That's right.
I saw that you came in town a little early and did open mic last night. Is that right?
I did. I had to. It's I wanted to see how it's going because Acme is always I've always felt they have the best open mic night in the country. It just the civilian to comic ratio is excellent. They keep it right on time. There's no going over. And some of the people that pop in to do sets are just some of the best comics in the country.
Yes, absolutely.
And so it's I always when I can I always try to. I got a big media week this week. It's promoting Crash and Burn already.
Yeah.
We're starting to promote Crash and Burn already, and hopefully we'll get people to come out this year.
It's the first week of August right now when we're recording this, where you're doing your headlining week at Acme, but Crash and Burn will be October 3rd through 7th.
That's right.
That's right.
First week of October. I cannot tell you who the acts are. I'm really excited. It's going to be a very unique Crash and Burn. So if you're a big Crash and Burn fan, you're going to love. You're not going to want to miss this one. If you're not a Crash and Burn fan, you're going to be introduced to one of the best, I think, the most fun weeks in comedy in the nation, with three of the most interesting acts.
Yeah, I'm the brief conversation we had before we started recording, and I was reminded that you start the week on a Tuesday, which normally at Acme is open mic. That week there will not be open mic. There will be Crash and Burn from Tuesday through Saturday. I'm already looking forward to seeing the show Tuesday. I love coming that first night to see how it starts.
Yeah, it is kind of an open mic. It's just you don't get up on stage.
Yeah,
It's just
Yeah, good point.
it's
Yeah,
just me and my three buddies.
that's right. Well, I'm just gonna throw a guess out there. You don't have to say yes or no. I think your three people are robots doing AI material.
I actually had AI. Did you know this? Did you find this out? I had AI try to find. I don't know if I posted it online or not.
Oh no, I don't.
I asked
no.
Chat GPT to write a bit in the style of Tim Slagle.
You did.
Yes. And it's, what's the deal with payphones? Why do you have to put money to make a phone call? So Chat GPI thinks that Tim Slagle is very old and hack and hasn't changed his routine in 20 damn years.
That is wonderful. You know what? That is going to lead right into something that I
actually might do that tonight. I might actually pull out, what the heck? I might pull out the bit that a Chat GPT wrote for me and do it on stage tonight.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? First, so we're tonight will be your first night of the week.
Yeah.
Oh yes, do it.
Yeah, last night was actually the first. I tried out a few bits that I was working on last night, and they went pretty well. I don't know if the general Acme audience is going to appreciate what the open mic audience appreciated, but we will see.
Sure. How much have you been performing?
Never as much as I'd like.
Yeah. Right.
doing a lot of bar shows and corporate parties, and if you'll note, if you're watching this, I actually have started preparing for the fall where I might have to play Santa Claus.
I think I saw pictures where the beard was longer. Have you been trimming it already? You've been growing it so long?
Yeah, I went. Yeah, it got so long I had to go to my hairdresser and said make it look good because it got to be too much. You know what I found in you're a long time facial hair guy.
Sure.
So
Oh yeah.
I found myself doing this a lot, and
Ah.
and I couldn't stop. It was a nasty, nasty habit. And I said, I can't now.
Oh.
I can't be that. I can't. I'm stroking my beard for those of you who are listening to this on audio. And no, I did that professor look is not going to work for me.
Yeah, I've gone through, I don't even know what it would be, but I've gone through streaks of doing that where I've been called out, like, stop touching your beard. You could ask if my two oldest daughters are here. They would be like, yeah, there was a time 5 years ago that we'd be like, Dad, stop touching your beard. It even went from that to like eyebrow, where I would like pull on my eyebrow. I, some reason have stopped. I don't know.
I had a friend that used to do that.
I don't know why.
When she would get nervous, she would do the full arm would go over the head and around and grab the edge of the eyebrow. You were doing that too?
Yes. I almost think now, and as I'm talking about it out loud here, maybe it was because I've also been a long-time doodler. Like I need to, I have a trouble sitting still, so it's always something.
Yeah.
So if it's not drawn circles and faces.
Do you smoke?
No.
Did you ever smoke? Okay. It's okay.
But it's not anymore, thankfully. No, sir. No, sir. That maybe that's it.
You're lying to me trying to get the cheap life insurance, huh?
No. Who do you work for? That's funny. That's very funny. So I thought, that I have found everything on the internet about Tim Slagle, but if you dig deep enough, there are things that I have not seen.
Uh-oh.
And there's something. No, this is great. This is something that
something I might not know. I am not on the Skidmore City Council.
No,
that's a different Tim Slagle.
No, nothing like that. No, this is definitely you, because and I ended up watching it. This is a segment from a TV show called Comedy Club Network. Do you remember Comedy Club Network? Showtime's Comedy Club Network.
Is that online now?
It is online, Tim Slagle.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, yes. And when's the last time you saw what I watched today?
Oh my gosh. I have a copy of it on 3/4 inch. I don't even know what you call that tape. I have no idea where to play it. I still have a copy of it, so I have not watched. Yikes.
So I want to get into that. So for people that don't know, what could you say about it? Was on Showtime, right?
It was on Showtime. I had my hair done special for the.
Oh yeah.
For the show, it was the debut of the Tim Slagle with the leather jacket look.
Yes, that was the debut. Okay, I didn't know that. Interesting.
It was probably the television debut.
Okay.
And that was probably 89. Am I right?
I think, yes, I believe the date on the broadcast was 90. So yeah, 89, 90, yeah.
Yeah.
Zanies, Chicago.
Yep. Rosemont, actually, the Rosemont Zanies, which has now been torn down. It was an old Red Lobster, and it's since been torn down, and I think there's a hotel sitting there now.
Interesting. So that show, from what I only have seen, I found out about this just the other day looking stuff up, and then I watched your episode this morning because I found it. They're on Pluto TV, one of those free.
No kidding.
Free streaming apps, where they have all these movies, but the catch is.
I think I have the Pluto app.
Yeah, they have the commercials in them. Yeah.
I've never done a Tim Slagle search on the Pluto app.
Yes.
Holy Toledo.
We got season 5, episode 7. Do you remember the names of the people that are on your episode?
Oh, no, I do not.
And I should have taken the time to look them up and see where they are now. Bill McCarty. Does that name ring a bell at all? They weren't in the same. So the show was on the episode I watched, it's 3 comedians, each recorded at different clubs across the country. You were the only one at Zanies. The other one was in Alaska, and then another one was at a different club.
Bill McCarty? No, I don't remember who was on mine.
And then Lori Callahan. Do you remember that name at all?
I do remember that name.
Yeah.
I think she's still out there. I think she's still Bill McCarty. I don't know about, but I think Lori Callahan. I think she's worked here.
Interesting.
I think so.
Her, she had part of her material was fat shaming women, which I thought was very funny.
No, she didn't call it fat shaming women, did she? Because they didn't call it that.
No.
They didn't call it that back then.
No. But when she's talking about, it was something about the style of the day and the pants women were wearing, and if you look close, you can see the dimples in their legs. I'm like, this is a woman saying this, who herself is a little not.
Sure.
She's not slim, so
A little.
very interesting stuff there.
Huh.
And Tim Slagle comes out. You're all thinking, nice haircut, pal. Do you remember delivering that as your first line?
I remember that was my first line for a while. Yeah. Do I make the politically incorrect hairdresser joke after that?
You sure did.
That one aced me out of the San Francisco comedy competition. I went into the they have 3 segments. They have the cattle call, where they have like 50 comics, and then they narrow it down to 10, and then from there it goes to 5, and then the winner.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to the 10, and I did that line, the hairdresser line, and there were 2 women who were probably dating from the San Francisco alternative newspaper. And even though I killed on stage, I scored a 0 for that night. I was like, let me tell you some of the names that were in the San Francisco comedy competition that I aced out to get into that final 10. Louis C.K., Greg Proops, Margaret Cho, Chris Titus. I was ahead of all these, people who are now superstars.
Yeah.
In that competition, because I was doing so well, and then I could not make up the deficit because both the judges scored me a 0 because of that line.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you keep it in your act after that?
Yeah, because I kept it in the act until I cut my hair.
Sure.
My haircut then wasn't much different than it is now, except that back then I was bleaching it white on the top, and now I'm dyeing it black on the side. So it's not much different at all as far as the haircut. But that haircut eventually grew out and went to the grunge look, and then went to full dreadlocks.
Right.
And I can't remember, and I had to drop the line when I cut off the dreadlocks.
Sure.
But I don't know if I had it while I was in dreadlocks. Probably not, because dreadlocks look intentional. But when it was the grunge look.
Good point.
I think I was still using the line.
Good.
It was a killer line.
Good point. If you want to hear it word for word, you go to Pluto TV, Comedy Club Network, Season 5, Episode 7. Tim follows it up, that line, but he lights a cigarette on stage.
Oh man, it was fantastic. That I knew that line would kill. I would do the setup. I'd pop the cigarette in my mouth. I'd fumble for the matches. I'd hit the line, strike the match, light the cigarette, flick the ash off, and then the laughter would still be going at that point.
Love it.
And it timed the joke perfectly. It was an incredible device. When I quit smoking, so much for my life insurance. That was the hardest thing. Was the not smoking wasn't a problem. It was retiming all my jokes and finding stuff to do with my hands.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, I believe that. I want to do.
As a lifetime non-smoker, of course I believe that.
I mean, from data I've collected, that seems to make sense. So then, let's see.
It was just a stage prop, by the way. It was absolutely just a stage. I never inhaled.
We have no evidence of that either way. We got to talk about one of the other joke that you do in that set. It's about a dating site. You're talking about, there's a dating site or some dating where they're matching up people by the magazines they read. Do you remember this?
I do not remember that. Oh, I do remember it now that you said it.
Talk about a joke that wouldn't make sense to anyone now, because are there even magazines anymore? There's 2 or 3 that even exist, right?
Yeah, and I think there's a copy of GQ in every frat house in America was the follow-up line in that. And that didn't. I worked for a Greek society once. I was booked in, and they didn't find that funny because it was dead on.
Sure. There were also jokes about George Bush's daycare rebates, and then Ronald Reagan. This was the one you said. Ronald Reagan.
You want it? You want
Do it.
You want the line?
Yes.
Spank me, dragon lady.
Ronald Reagan did something I could never do: sleep with Nancy. That is Tim Slagle, circa '89.
Yeah, bent
Go.
over a weight bench.
So there you go. He had material from yes.
Oh
Barbara
my God,
Bush,
it is-
George.
1989. That's so funny. It's so dated. I know comics. There was comics that I did my show with back in 1989. They're still doing their jokes. I can't do any of my jokes anymore.
Tim, you're. Thank you for saying that, because you're absolutely leading into what I'm about to say next.
Oh, okay.
Because so this, so I'm looking at. After I found out about this, I went to YouTube and was like, "Is there more? Who else can I watch that was on this?" Right? I went to YouTube looking for the show before I found it on Pluto TV. Okay, so then one of the ones I did find on YouTube was from that TV show, and it was Ron White, comedian Ron White,
Wow.
who still performs stand-up, sort of. I think he's like semi-retired. Here's the thing. So I went and started reading the comments about Ron White. Proof that if you have a good joke, it'll work 30 years later. Next comment. Still doing this joke 30 years later. Another comment. Change this to 0.75 speed and it sounds like Ron White does today. So he was doing some of the same jokes, just talking faster. And then one more comment that I didn't do a screenshot of was something about basically what you have already said too, that when he hit big, he was known for holding a drink in one hand and a cigar or cigarette in the other.
Yeah.
In this set from around your time, arms at the side, super awkward, and that was some of the comments like, "Oh my God, he doesn't know what to do with his arms." Crazy.
He's waiting till after the show to have the drink.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
That's,
Itching to get it. So I'm going to spend more time going back to look at some of these because, there's Chappelle was on this show, and tons of people that have made it huge were on this. So I'm going to go back and listen to watch a bunch of those.
Some that have wafted into obscurity like myself.
I wasn't saying that. I wasn't saying that.
There's also an MTV clip out there somewhere. I don't know if they're
Of you? Yeah. Was it what was their show?
Comedy Hour.
Half-hour comedy hour with Mario Joyner?
No, it was what's his name? The guy in Schitt's Creek, the mayor shit.
Not Chris Elliott.
Chris
no.
Elliott.
Yeah, Chris Elliott.
He hosted my segment.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that one is now I have a.
Yep. MTV half-hour comedy hour, and it's kind of funny because I noticed when here at Acme when they did the Last Comic Standing auditions, they actually had someone going through the line with electrical tape looking for logos.
Oh sure.
And if you have like a Nike swoop,
sure,
swoop
or Mickey Mouse or something, yeah,
or a Nike swoop on your T-shirt or something, they would put electrical tape
sure.
over it while you're waiting in line, so it was on the camera. Well, there was a bar I was hanging out at in Chicago called The Exit, and it's still there. And they had leather jacket giveaway nights, and I actually had one. I said, if I happen to have the winning ticket, I promise I'll wear that jacket on the next TV spot I get.
Nice.
And I won that night. And I have this. It's a real nice jacket. I still have it. It's a Chicago police jacket, which is a real classic look. And on the back, it has a skull and crossbones, and it says "Exit Chicago." It looks like a biker patch.
Oh wow!
So I wore that on the MTV. And it's really funny because I turn around to walk on stage, and they do the thing where they follow the comic on stage.
Yeah.
And you can tell it's like the director is zoom out because they didn't go around making sure that the logos were
funny.
And it's still, but the people at the bar, the Exit, they recognized it right away. And I would have young ladies coming up to me and going, "You're the guy who wore the Exit jacket on MTV."
Well done, sir.
Yeah.
You got a free beer or two out of that, I bet?
Oh, plenty.
Yeah, I bet.
If you want to see the Exit, the Nine Inch Nails, "Head Like a Hole," is that? I think that's the song.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that was recorded at the Exit.
Oh,
So
cool.
it's you can go and look at that.
Oh, that's neat. So I took a celebrity death really hard this week when Paul Rubens died.
I think we all did.
I mean, I can't even compare it to another Mr. Rogers, but not.
No, not because he was because Mr. Rogers, even though he was a real sweet, nice guy, we all kind of grew out of him. And Pee Wee was eternal. It was you could enjoy Pee Wee from your childhood well into your adulthood.
Right.
And it was one of those rare characters that can amuse all ages. And it's I've always aspired to do that in comedy. I've never even come close to succeeding.
Is there any chance you crossed paths with him at any point?
I never did. I I did lie about it once to impress a girl, but
What?
a moment of shame. But
What?
never crossed paths with Paul Rubens. So.
Did
So if you're out there, I'm sorry, honey, I lied to you.
did that lie work out for everybody?
I lied once. Let's just leave it there, okay?
I love it. Fair enough.
It's I think for me that the and this one stands out for everyone. When he was on the MTV Music Awards and he came out, and this was like about a year or so after his downfall, and at that point everybody, I mean, it was the what does Pee Wee have in common with what does Abraham Lincoln have with the guy in the theater in front of Pee Wee? They both got shot in the head. You know, there were all these jokes, and it was like standard.
Yeah.
And he came out there in his suit. He said, "So you heard any good jokes lately?"
That's right.
And it was just a moment, of cultural awareness that he was in on the joke, and it was a confession. It was humility, and then he comes back with, "So funny, I forgot to laugh."
An absolute classic by him.
It was just a moment that in my mind I'll never forget that.
I couldn't get enough of the other night, when it was or the other day when it was announced, and that night I'm at home on my phone. I'm just like, all I wanted was just like, please, everybody keep sharing stories about him and like these videos and these. I wanted to just get everything.
You ever seen his Christmas special?
Of course, I own it on DVD.
Okay.
Yes.
A lot of people didn't know that there was a Christmas special.
Uh-huh.
Just amazing cast of guest stars.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment for me in that Christmas special was is that Pee Wee's talking to the Countess, and Pee Wee's going. The Countess is a cow, by the way.
That's right.
And the cow is sitting there. And he goes, "That's a nice bell you got there, Countess." And she goes, "Zsa Zsa is going to be really jealous." And the next thing, Zsa Zsa Gabor comes in. "Oh my God, Countess, where did you get that bell?" And the other one, and most of these references, probably kids today don't even know who these references are.
Yeah, probably.
But from my era, these were like huge celebrities. They were on all the talk shows. And,
Yeah.
And they were celebrities, like the Kardashians. They were celebrities for being celebrities.
Yes, absolutely.
There's one where it's like they string up a piñata. This is how we celebrate Christmas in my country, Pee Wee. And they string up a piñata. And they put on the blindfold, and they give him a baseball bat. He goes, "This feels so Mexican. All we need now is Charo." And the next thing, Charo comes in with her guitar and starts playing Feliz Navidad while he's swinging the bat. But it's supposed to be at the piñata, but she's like doesn't realize it as he's trying.
Coochie coochie coo.
He's trying to clobber her. And he keeps missing.
Love it.
The piñata's way over here. He's not even trying.
He was so great. When he was on 30 Rock later in his career, that little character was amazing. But so I have the local TV news on, mistake number 1 the other night, and they get to the story of Paul Rubens passing away. Should have been the top story. It was like 15 minutes in.
Yeah.
But then they do it, and they're like actor, comedian, blah blah blah. They give the good description of Paul Rubens, and then they end it with, of course, got in trouble in 1991 at an adult theater. It's like, fucking, why are you even mentioning it?
Yeah.
Fuck off! I yelled "fuck off" to my TV when they did that. It's like, you don't. Why are you doing that? You don't have to mention it.
No.
Ugh.
No. Got in trouble for doing an adult theater what people went into an adult theater for.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, that's how people did it in that day.
Mm-hmm.
In those days, they didn't have the internets. They didn't have. You go to a place and you enjoy the show while you enjoy yourself.
Yeah. They existed.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, they actually exist. Yeah. So that drove me nuts.
Because back then we didn't have the $25 massage shops that are very popular, like in Portland.
Yes, no, that is very true. That is very true. So I was thinking that today is the first time that you'll be performing in Minneapolis with pot legalized.
Is it? I didn't know.
Yes.
But pardon me. It's so legal everywhere. It shocks me more that there are places where it's illegal than finding out where it's legalized.
Yeah.
And it's so is it? When did it pass? I didn't even know.
Yesterday, August 1st was the day it was
wow.
legalized. So yeah, the vote was earlier this year. Legal as of yesterday. There's one dispensary right now in the state of Minnesota that you and I could go buy from right now, and it is over 200 miles from the Twin Cities.
What?
It's on an Indian reservation.
Oh.
Because they, already had their own rules about. So then they were already set up. They're open. That's the only one.
Huh.
Yeah, so they're saying not for another year or so will there be,
So they must have started growing it there last year, right?
Well, it was already medicinal.
Oh, okay.
And now they just,
Medicinal-
okay, now everyone's welcome.
Medicinal in Minneapolis.
No. The one on the reservation was medicinal, so they were already selling, leaf and stuff.
Right, but was it medicinal legal in Minneapolis?
Oh, yes, but very few people had access to it.
You go to the res for some Indian medicine.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Very, very limited. Like my wife has lupus, and that didn't qualify to get medicinal in Minnesota, which you would think it would.
But she could go to the reservation.
Now. But no, she was never okayed for it. It's just in
Yeah,
Minnesota.
but if you're on the Indian reservation,
True.
You go to an Indian doctor, which
is
not the kind of Indian doctor that most people go to.
Right. It's like I just did last Monday.
John Redcorn.
That's right. Dr. Palouse. That's right. You're absolutely right. So yeah, but it made me think about, when you had your thing here with the smoking ban, which is sort of the opposite of that, where smoking was allowed in here at one point, then it was taken away, and then Tim Slagle found a loophole.
Oh yeah.
To let people smoke in the club here.
Yeah, well, it's actually a line I do. Is when I left Michigan, you could smoke in bars and go to jail for pot. And now it's the exact opposite. You can smoke pot and go to jail for smoking in a bar.
Isn't it wild?
It's amazing that happened. Yeah. Well, I actually started doing it. I started doing it much earlier. It's because. Is because the theater here at Acme, because it's such a closed space, would not allow smoking. It was a non-smoking theater, which is why the smoking ban was kind of annoying. Is that you couldn't smoke in the restaurant, you couldn't smoke in the theater, you could smoke in the bar, and that was it. And it was really good for the club because people wouldn't go. Now they go after the show, they go outside for a cigarette, and then they're gone. Whereas they would go into the club for a cigarette before, and they would buy some drink. They would into the bar for a cigarette, and they would buy some drinks while they were sitting there having a cigarette.
You're right. Yeah.
So it was never allowed. Smoking was never allowed in the theater. But I was a rebel early on, is because you saw I had that prop cigarette. It was a candy cigarette that I would. It was part of my act, and because of that, I was allowed to do it. And then so I would invite people to come up on stage during my show. I would set up a table like right here and let people, if they wanted, they could come and go and they could sit. They could have a cigarette while I would do my act where you were. And as I came back from every 6 months, people would know that, and more people. And it got to the point where there was like a dozen people on stage here, and one person lit up a joint.
Oh,
And
hey, we're in
Lew-
full circle here.
And Lewis came up to me after the show, and he goes, "So, I heard somebody lit up a joint on stage tonight." I go, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure that happened." He goes, "I think that bit's hack now." Yes, sir, it is.
I've never heard that version.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was like that was like in the early years when I was working here, and then so when the smoking ban came, I go, "Lewis, can I do my hack bit again?" And he goes, "Yeah." And we had a big event, and you can find this on my YouTube page. That it actually made the local news.
Yes, I watched it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's what we did was we extended the stage out into the audience. We put up police tape, and I don't know if I should say this or not, but I'm going to. Lewis thought there might be trouble that night because the Lung Association and several activist groups were going to protest the show. So he brought in Rich Miller as a little muscle to kind of, we're sitting down and we're discussing how we're going to do it. And I said, yeah, we're going to get some police tape, and we're going to have the waitresses mark out the stage. He goes, I don't understand the idea of police tape. I go, it's for effect, Rich. And sure enough, that's on the news is the waitresses putting up the police tape around the room.
I remember. I've watched that in the last year or so. Yes.
Yeah, and so the stage became like most of the room, and all I still remember from that night when everybody lit up, and it got so smoky in here, and I had a big fat cigar that I lit up, and I got dizzy. I almost.
Oh no.
Yeah, I almost went down, and it made the news, and I said, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little improv theater right here. We're breaking the fourth wall, and we're going to call this production "Smoking in a Nightclub."
Very creative.
And it actually, for a little while there, because the way the law was written is that smoking as part of a performance would still be permitted.
Right.
And so what was happening was bars all over the state saw this and started hosting improv nights. And I actually started a little trend. It was until the legislatures go, we're going to have to fix that law. It's like, there shall be no smoking in improv performances.
I love that. Finding a loophole is that's just the best. Yeah, that is absolutely the best. Have you, is there another stunt like that you have, I mean, come on. Before,
you think
at some point, you got to bring out another one.
You think. I look back, and there's been several stunts, and some of them I won't even talk about. Lewis is actually saying, "You got tape of that somewhere." I go, "Yeah, I don't think the world's ready for that one, Lewis." And I'm not going to tell you what it is. If you do an in-depth research dive again on Slagle, you might be able to find it. But
okay, all right.
Revealing it.
I just got a text message so yesterday my wife, she goes, "Hey, do you want to buy me a tattoo for my birthday?" Huh? I go, "What?" Which, okay, first of all, I always want a suggestion because when we first met, I was really good at buying gifts, creative, thoughtful gifts, and I think that helped me win her over. Since then, I admit I've completely given up, and I'm not good at it anymore. I love the
because you don't have to be.
Thank you. So I love the suggestions, right? But this one was sort of forced on me because she's like, and then I got the full story. Well, my friend already made us an appointment, and it's tomorrow. This was today. Yeah. She's like, we're going to go tomorrow and get these tattoos if you buy it for me for my birthday. I'm like, oh, so I pretty much have to buy this for you for your. I didn't really have. Did I really have a choice? I didn't really have a choice. The appointment was made, and her birthday's coming up.
Just because you're not clever enough there.
Yeah.
What you do is you get a nice velvet box about the size of the tennis bracelet and go, okay, I'll take this back.
Brilliant. Except their anniversary is coming up in a few months. She might go, well, just keep it for that. So this morning before she left to get this tattoo, I gave her a credit card, and I didn't know how much she was going to be spending.
Oh, you just got the text?
I just got the text. It's
$350.
No, half that, basically.
What?
$165.
I hope it's not in a public place.
She went to some place, and I can. They wanted me to review. It says, let the tattoo place know how your experience was. Because she gave them my email because it was my credit card. Should I give them a thumbs up here? But anyway, $165. So I just found out how much I just spent on her birthday.
Yeah,
I was thinking more, so I'm.
That's not bad.
No, I'm okay with this. But maybe this means I'm gonna have to show up with something else. I don't know. I have.
Hopefully, just keep her away from this podcast. Huh?
She hasn't listened since 2012. Are you kidding me? Please. She hasn't listened since 2012. Final question for you, sir. Whose cocaine was in the White House?
We know. I mean, come on. Good gosh. I don't know who was it that said the fact that they say they don't know means that we all know.
Yeah.
It's and I actually think that's part of the reason why the judge kind of. I mean, he was supposed to go. Hunter. We're talking about Hunter. In case you don't know, Hunter Biden is a crackhead, and he's been taking bribes from foreign governments by selling access for his dad. And this highly impeachable offense. There is full evidence of all of this. Don't believe what mainstream media is telling you. Anyway, Hunter Biden
there you go.
was supposed to go into court and plead guilty to misdemeanors, which normally would be prosecuted as severe penalties, and he would have to do jail time for the three things that he violated. But the prosecution had negotiated a plea deal where he just would have probation, and the judge just went in there and just tore it apart. And I think it was because the judge doesn't just watch CBS News. I think the judge looks at a lot of news sources. So I think the judge was aware of many things. That the judge was aware that it was a sweetheart deal, was aware that there were whistleblowers saying, no, we wanted to put him in prison. That was aware of the fact that there was cocaine found in the White House. So first she said, number one, I'm not going to go on this sweeping immunity deal that you guys snuck in there. And number two, you're going to have to show up for regular drug tests.
I saw that.
Which you know what that means is Secret Service is going to have to be peeing in cups for him.
Make sure it's the right temp.
Well, no, the Secret Service goes in with them.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, sure.
It's pretty much. It's like, okay, here's the cup, Hunter. Well, I can't go in there alone. There might be a terrorist or something. It's
Keep me safe in there.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, of course.
Secret Service goes in there with them. Okay, you know the drill, buddy.
Yeah, it's fine. I got Secret Service with me. We're good. We're good. Well, I don't know, Tim, because I read multiple sources that are saying they did a really thorough investigation and it was a dead end. So
yeah, no fingerprints.
No fingerprints.
No fingerprints. No
DNA.
No DNA on the rolled up dollar bill that was next to it.
Is that?
Please.
Is that a nose hair? Get that out of here. Well, there you go. Thank you, Tim.